Welcome to Atlantic Television Network Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with the views of Professor Lucians that will benefit humanity. On today's Society Watch, there are so many issues to look at, but we'll start with economic development. FG suspends import duty on essential foods. On finance, states can afford 70,000 naira minimum wage. That's from Governor Inua. On nationwide protest, Defense Minister urged protesters to seek dialogue. On aviation, airports need credible data to overcome challenges. That's from AGHAN. And these are the issues we'll be looking at today. Of course, you can join us on all our media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram, TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. When we return from the short break, I will introduce my wonderful guest for today's show. Please stay with us.
From the line across the ocean.
Welcome to Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and joining me this wonderful afternoon on the show is a public affairs analyst, amazing guest on the floor in topic now. I'm talking about Mr. Wells. How do you mean? It's good to have you.
I'm being overwhelmed with this athlete.
Oh my God. Cost amidst widespread hunger, Comptroller General Adewale Adeyini announced the measures emphasizing the commitment to addressing global inflation impact. The NCS has streamlined export processes and introduced tools to enhance trade and stimulates. Adeyini also highlighted effort to prevent the proliferation of arms and called for unity and cooperation from Nigerians to overcome current challenges and build a brighter future. Okay, congratulations to Nigerians.
At certain quarters, particularly the sensitivity nature of government to the plight of populace or Nigerians, it could be regarded as a segmented response. Why, for those who probably are not in that space into importing or exporting, as the case may be, it's a win-win for them. Down particularly cost of living, and this is not peculiar with Nigeria; it's world over. The point is just that such kind of gesture will do more empowerment to persons who import some of these things or who export elsewhere and bring those items here to be purchased, and therefore means that you are giving your foreign exchange off. You eat now, but in the long run, can it be sustainable? It will have an effect, implying those who have been encouraged over time to consume what is made in Nigeria may not really products and consumables will be very low, and that way affect my overheads. So the shortfall, the final analysis of that is that it will yes cushion the effect to a larger extent, but in the long run it will rather cripple the manufacturing space.
And would this have any way of affecting employment opportunity?
Of course, sure. If I am not selling, it means that inflows as expected or projected is not seeing the. I also want to keep afloat by ensuring. So, if I have a work factory and they are producing and they are producing and what they are producing.
How good do you think is this suspension? Is it let's rate it with 100%?
It must do option of survival, which of course of what you can do to salvage the tension.
Okay.
Because apparently that's why when you are rolling out such policy, you peg it that for the next period of 6 months or for the next period of 4 months, as the case may be, or quarterly basis, so that you look at the market trend, so that investment that is tailored towards manufacturing local content will not be a way, because some of these investments are also loan driven, and then you have servicing options in contractual agreement, which of course must not also suffer. Government owes a duty to also, protect their interests. So that's why I said earlier on that, it is segmented, that it will favor the vast majority that apparently fit where to where the processing stages of those production. You could see that it is hazardous, it is dangerous. Human ought not to, no any man should be exposed, or humans should not be exposed to those kind of conditions and consumables. So government has to be very holistic, projectory, and always ahead, so that criminal elements will also not capitalize on some of
All right, thank you so much. And now let's look at the next story. Governor Enowa Yahaya of Gombe State, also chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, expressed concern about implementing the new national minimum wage of 70,000 naira due to Gombe's low allocations. At the meeting with labor leaders and challenging for many states to pay, the current economic conditions make the new wage even harder to implement. He revealed that Gombe has not received the 20 trucks of rice of the full 5 billion naira penalties from the federal government, only receiving 2 billion naira. Yahaya explained that the removal of the fuel subsidy, which caused hardship, was initiated by former President Buhari but announced by President Tinubu due to budget constraints. He called for stakeholders to find peaceful alternatives to protest, which he believe lead to violence and destruction. All right, you are very much aware that the 70,000 naira new minimum wage has been passed into law, has been signed, and then it is now a reality. Of course, it's no longer headline stuff. And before then, a lot of people were complaining that some states couldn't actually pay the 30,000 naira minimum wage, and now leaving it to 70,000, there's going to be a problem. The Gombe State governor has come up to say that this is going to be very hard on them. What's expected now? Is it that they should go and review it again? Because, I mean, out of the 36 states, it's just him. Maybe others have talked about it, but he's the first person so far to come out to say that he cannot pay
interest or benefit, whether the elements pushing for such advocacy have what it takes. Are they economic viable? If they are economic viable, whatever resources they so claim is within their confines or their space, whether is on the commercial scale or is just for information's sake, it will be part of what will be tools used on the table of discourse or dialogue. So, if you look at that, Governor of Gombe is stating the reality. National, from your national pulse, is also not commensurate towards what you are envisaging to receive. It's whatever you do, just like in the computer world or computer space, garbage in, garbage out. What you give to the system is also what the system gives back. But fair enough, on a more serious path, is that is stating the obvious that not all states will be able to, even also GR, because the reality of the modern day governance engagement also need to explore engagement platform where her state can also environment. So the government of Gombe State is correct, but however, beyond being correct, it's also time to be very, very creative within what nature has provided itself.
So,
you know,
does that mean that they will end up owing staff as usual?
That's what he's saying. If you want us to pay 70, not realistic. 30, we are still owing. 70, expect more owing. So that's just the bottom line. But in all the sense of sincerity and responsibility, sit down, discuss with stakeholders.
What exactly you mean?
Yeah,
is it to talk about telling them, okay, since we cannot pay 70, let's cut it to 50?
No. Yes, it's part of discourse because it's not impository. It's just that it's in law. So if you want to operate in that space, look, this is the state of reality. If you want us to drive at, payment of 70,000 naira, as minimum wage, it means that we are going to do consequential adjustments. Meaning there will be massive, which of course labor will come at them that you cannot just, but what do you want them to do? So that's why I say stakeholders meeting in relation with government plan as to see the feasibility criteria around aligning with the national
the 30.
So it will now mean that okay, we are so agreed that 70 is national, but we can reach a compromise, a gentleman. Can we do 50 or can we do 40? But be consistent with 40. However, before the implementation of 40, this and this and these are plans that we need to do or put on the table that will ensure the visibility state of arriving at 40. Because 40 cannot just come from the moon. There might be work in progress, drafted, blueprint created that will drive us to reaching 40. I believe in collecting 20, and I know that 20 is consistent, than collecting 60, and I'm not sure when 60 will land in my account.
All right. Then he also said something that the 20 truckloads of rice that the federal government sent to different states didn't get to Gombe State. And I remember that in that news, it was stated that these trucks of rice were sent to about 36 states, as in the 30 or all the states. So is it that their own disappeared on the road, or what exactly happened?
The point is that there are instruments of government where inquiries are and complaints are laid. You should explore it. You don't come to the public and cry like a, how do you call them? Like crybabies, as the ways may be. The point is that there are instruments of government, channel to address and query some of these things. Explore them. Have you explored them? If you have a state accountant general, you have officers who represent the interests of the state's national level.
Exactly.
So if I'm so sure that there will be, it's not only Gombe that probably will experience shortfall. There will be varying factors. Could be road, could be logistics. These are things to which this is part of what I'm saying, that you can't just fool yourself. Nobody will want to give you practically everything. You also have to go out of your way. If your nature has been so configured to be docile, and then you hold it a responsibility, probably you have forgotten that you swore an oath to ensure you protect life and property, including responding to responsibility that is accruing to your office. And these are some of it. You can't just say they didn't give you money. If government say they paid 5 billion, you can ask questions. You probably listen to news that you see some states who have a vocal leaders who will ask right questions. You can't take our people for granted. You ask basic questions. If there are persons who probably want to play politics with some of these things, you query. Here in rural state, we know somehow a place as to some persons, advocating a few weeks ago that government should not, channel the palliative men to River State, to certain powers, in the government, that it should be channeled to them because some of those persons tend to perceive that such you know, benevolence, or as the case may be, or the sharing is going to certain, you know, group of persons that does not represent the general interest of the state. So it's neither here or there. So if there are shortfalls or inability to meet up with that, I know that there are explanations. If there are explanations, explore it and be consistent about it. And don't already give us excuses that is characterized leaders these days, especially from the corridor of those who probably don't want to lift a finger for their people. And there again, during the electioneering period, you will see them traveling all the nooks and crannies, wards and local government, telling them, will you allow it? No.
Yes. But Mr. Well, these trucks of rice were sent for over 2 weeks now. So how come it didn't raise alarm?
I said, if you make an inquiry, you'll probably get, it could be logistics, it could also be road, it could be whatever. Investigate and ensure you arrest it, because it was others as theirs. He's not the only person complaining. So out of 36, why should you be the
only one?
So you need to ask questions. If there are supportive logistics drive, you need to pull from your hand so that your people can have access to what other has. You need to do.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Well.
It's a pleasure.
We hope that the governor of Gombe State will put some logistics in place and also ask questions. Let's know where that bag of rice enters, because I mean the trucks of rice, because it's very important. All right, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We'll just go on a very short break to stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
Why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask oh?
Because this road where they see, so you no guarantee safe delivery. Oh.
We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so e no dey. Light o.
Corruption, spoil everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon, Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I'm here. You.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers print.
Hear you, continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. I will call you back.
That behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akin Fadehi Foundation, the Marketer Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say nothing. Okay now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract we do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house they owe since. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer na house, I supposed pay that one. You remember say me I tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, ne. They pay you money now. Where we don't they beg caretaker, where would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time. Money can't come now, you won't divert am. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akin Fadehi Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. Minister Ahmed Abubakar urged organizers of to engage in dialogue with the government instead. He highlighted that President Tinubu's reforms are starting to show positive results, with the economy gradually recovering and security improving. Noted significant achievements including the reopening of previously closed roads, resolving farmer headaches that Nigerians should engage in dialogue. Don't you think it's already too late? That's one question. And again, we are all Nigerians. We have eyes. Mentioning all the things that the president also see those things with our eyes and say, okay, indeed, this is done. You don't need to come and tell me that I've gotten your school uniform, I've gotten you a school bag, I've gotten you this. I should be able to see those things and say, okay, this is what my father has done. But yes, we know that he's not far from the truth with what he has mentioned. But do you think don't you think it's too late for Nigerians to do dialogue at this moment? Because so far, they are restricting Nigerians from protesting, having known that it's their right, that they are looking into the problems. But they are not satisfied. They still want to vent their grievances, to make them know that this is what they're going through. What do you think about his opinion?
I will most likely want to introduce a proverb by the elders that says, the young child are saying, look, we have a very worrisome culture in this part of the world, that the meaning that is attached to protest is different from the dictionary meaning or how it is played elsewhere. Protest from oftentimes in this part of the world, oftentimes have no business or organizing the protests. Some even went further to tell you that the forerunners of the last one, or NSAS in 2020, a chunk number of them after that incident were locked up. Some relocated abroad. Some also have built through orientation with a cripple, implying that if there have been calls that war is coming, the cripple and his all beneficiary and family would have made, a heaven that in the holy books, particularly in Genesis, when Noah was trying to, make a call and people were making laugh at him and all that. Until the point that animals that cannot reason as human reason follow a simple instruction, ensure find yourself in the ark. Then the question was that how did the slowest animal, snail, made that qualification list? So on a second thought, the reality dawned on me that this Oga would have actually put up a plan that if the deadline is next week, I take my movement today. Unlike cheetah can even in the next 1 hour make a move. But snail initialize a process of actualization a week earlier, meaning planning. So the point is that good enough you want to ventilate your displeasure, yes, it's biting hard on everybody, and then you have ground to be angry.
do not listen. That is why they say, okay, this is the best way to handle this. And again, why they didn't, no one died and all of those. Why are they attaching to that? Can they equally see the positive side of this process? Remember that when they started saying nobody should protest, they asked for reason. They couldn't provide anything. At the end of the day, all of them started talking about NSAS, NSAS, NSAS. Of course, that's not the only protest that has ever happened. Why are they all looking at that angle?
That's why I did my intro with a parable.
Okay.
If you don't want to align with the history, somehow, you drive to change the narrative.
All right, thank you so
now,
much.
Now, the patient, it may requires time. And then it seems as if the patient drive is no more there. And that's more reason why people say, let us go out. And
are you in support of the protests?
I am not in support of riots.
Are you in support of the protest? We are not saying, see, it is people that are painting a picture, perhaps because of what has happened in the past. All right?
Which, of course, we can't shy away from.
Okay, yes, we know. But now we are saying a lot of the hardship they are experiencing, and they all feel that the government is not listening.
Policies does not have a human face. Even if it is intended to bring about economic prosperity, whether now or in the next 5 years, we are not seeing the positives. That's on the side of the...
I'm saying.
The protest is not going to shut down places.
You now see what I'm saying? Because the protest meant to be, everybody go about your normal business, you know? And then we will remain here until our call get a desired attention, is it not? Where that desired attention is not being gotten, is not attracting the required attention, it means that some distractions can be created. Maybe not by...
Well, some of us who probably came through the only power, which is 4 years, during the electionary, that's our own call. For some of us, that is when you have the ultimate, the platform upon which you can display your power. But there again, it has been compromised. And then you have your government in power, you want to advocate for change. That change, sorry, will only come after.
All right, and the last story for today, veteran one.